we're watching the Arsenal game and Dowman comes on and Kai's played against him, and I said, is he your age? And he went, yeah, Kai is 2 months older than him.
Oh, wow.
I was thinking,
wow.
It's absolutely crazy that he's playing first team football in the Premier League.
Okay, the other big story from the weekend then that we have to talk about, I think, is Max Dowman for Arsenal. There's been a lot of hype about him over pre-season. 15 years old, came off the bench, won a penalty. What a player he looks, Wayne. Everyone's waxing lyrical, I'm sure you agree.
Yeah, he's, obviously not seen too much of him, but to play at that age in the Premier League is crazy. I know I played when I was young, but I think he's like 150 days younger than I was, or whatever. More, whatever. So I was sat there actually with my son watching it yesterday, and my son is older than him.
Is this your son? It's Kai that's obviously playing.
Yeah,
for
so I went
Manchester
to watch Kai
now.
yesterday. He played for the under-18s. Was yesterday. Yeah, and got his first goal for them, which is again 3 years above himself. Is a great achievement. And then we're watching the Arsenal game, and Dowman comes on, and Kai's played against him, and I said, is he your age? And he went, yeah, Kai is 2 months older than him. So I was thinking, it's absolutely crazy that he's playing first team football in the Premier League.
Wayne, how did you feel when you were 16 getting put into the first team dressing room and stuff? What's that like?
It's a massive confidence boost from the manager, just to have him on the bench and then to bring him on. And you could see it's clear the players are all, round him and making sure they're protecting him and whatever, and because he's going to have some difficult moments as well. But it's just refreshing to see a young lad get his opportunity, and and even though he's playing for Arsenal, every time you come inside him, go on, shoot, put it in the top. You want him to put it in the top corner, and whatever. And unfortunately, didn't. But then he wins a penalty, and I'll be honest, I was thinking, please don't give him the penalty.
Were you?
Yeah, I didn't want. I just, if he gets it and scores, it's great. But I was thinking, if he misses that, the difference in being an absolute success story and coming on to then he misses the penalty, and then all of a sudden you get not everyone, but online people having a go at him. So I was really pleased he didn't. But no, it was such an impressive debut for him.
It feels like though a young Wayne Rooney would have gone and taken a ball and said, I'm taking this penalty.
Yeah, you would. I'm sure he would have wanted the penalty as well. And sometimes that's where your senior players have got to look after him as well, because at that age you're not always making the right decisions. But no, I was glad he didn't take it. But it's at that age, I think Guy Neville says on the commentary that he still hasn't started his final year to do his GCSEs yet, so he doesn't have to worry about them at the minute. So it's crazy.
I'm sure that's not what his parents are saying. His parents are saying probably still get your education as well. I'm intrigued as to what Kai said about playing against him, because he's obviously got a unique perspective that we won't have.
Yeah, no, he just said you can clearly see he's a top player, and that's what, for any young player, you say, you work hard and you put the effort in. You never know. Sometimes you could be playing under 15s, and the next time you're playing 18s or Premier League. That's how quick it can happen. So you always have to be ready. And I'm sure for Max and his family and his friends, seeing him just go from here to there, I'm sure they're all living in a dream, a fairy tale where that probably hasn't hit home yet. But you can see his future is so bright. He's going to have a massive future. And everyone you speak to in football, the same name keeps coming back in Max Dowman. So I think his future is very bright.
How do you stay level-headed, Wayne, at that period? Because, obviously, you still can't even drive a car yet, but you're the talk of the town. Everyone's talking about you up and down the country, TV, radio, internet, whatever. But still, you're 15, and how do you let that not get to your head?
Yeah, it's difficult for anyone, I think. And I think the first thing you'll do is just, stay around your family and friends, close friends, and listen to them, really, because there are going to be people out there who are trying to, be your friend, or trying to, get in touch with you some for good reasons, some for not so good reasons. But you just have to make sure the people who are closest to you stay around them and listen to their advice, rather than outsiders trying to, you probably don't know you that well, trying to give you advice which mightn't be too helpful. So stay close to your parents, I'd say.
Do you reckon they're going to give him a Ford KA as well?
Yes, we got it in.
Yeah, that was that was an interesting one. from me.
Go on, Wayne, explain it.
No, so when I think I was 14, I signed a deal with Ford, and used to give me dad a Ford Galaxy. But I didn't realise that in the contract when I passed my driving test, my first car had to be a Ford. So yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
I had a nice purpley 4KA with a personalised number plate, and I always remember then, it was a few months later, I was driving a Ford and Clean was in a BMW X5. So yeah.
What was that realization like? I bet you were going through like, I'm gonna get a Mercedes, I'm gonna get a BMW, and then your agent comes out and goes, actually, Paul.
Yeah, no, listen, it was a nice car. I actually upgraded it after a couple of months to a 4KA convertible as well. So.
Whoa. I never thought this was something we'd have in common, Wayne. My first car was a Ford KA.
Was it? Yeah, yeah. So
as well.
I changed.
Mine was a Ford Fiesta, so looks like we've all got the same.
The same taste. The difference is that was a wicked Ford car, and we had no choice.
Listen, when you're that age, you pass your driving test, you just want to drive any car. So I don't think.
Did you pass first time, Wayne?
I passed me. Yeah, I had 3 lessons.
3 lessons and you passed the driving test.
Yeah.
What? I've never heard anyone do that.
I'm pretty sure the fella who took me test was an Everton fan.
Oh, okay. So you couldn't actually drive, but you had a driving licence.
So yeah, no, I could drive. It was okay.
On a serious note, though, I imagine this is probably taking you back to that time in your life when you see a player. I know you were a little bit older when you burst onto the scene, but has it taken you back a little bit, remembering when you came through at Everton and how your world literally probably changed overnight?
Yeah, it's surreal. It's so strange that you 1 minute you, as I said before, you're in the youth team, and then next minute you in the first team's dressing room and with some of your heroes. And for me, some of your heroes growing up, I'm in there training with, playing with, becoming friends with. I was round at Duncan Ferguson's house. He lived on the same road as me, just chilling with him and Alan Stubbs, and you're like, what is going on here? This is surreal. So it's something you need to get used to very quickly, because it can be overwhelming, and it can really get you if you don't get used to it. But from the looks of it, Max Dowman looks like a very level-headed lad from everything I have seen, and you hope he manages to deal with it and understands what's coming his way very soon.
Wayne, you're famously on record saying you were surprised that the step up wasn't as hard as you thought it would be. I'll put it in nicer terms than you put it. But what do you reckon Max Dowman was thinking? Do you think the step up's harder now?
He made it look effortless, didn't like?
Yeah, no, I think obviously Max is going into a team who are challenging to win the Premier League and challenging to win Champions League. So I think that the step up for him is clearly with better players than what we had when I come in. So yeah, it's and sometimes you find it's actually easier playing first team football, or playing, because you're going up, you're playing with better players. You'll see you run, or when you cut inside like he does on his left foot, they'll make him run, which you might maybe get at youth team level. So sometimes it can actually be easier to go up and to make that step up and play with better players. So and he certainly made it look that way as well yesterday.
What's the one piece of advice you'd have for him?
Enjoy it. I think what's coming to him now over the next 20 years, 25 years, I'm sure we're going to see so much of him, and so much of his talent and goals and assists, whatever. And Alan Stubbs always said to me years ago, make sure you enjoy it, because it goes very quickly. And when you're young, you don't think that, but you sometimes forget that. But no, enjoy it and make the most of it.
You've mentioned Stubbs there a few times, and a couple of players. Who in particular at that period in your career really helped you put their arms around you? I know your family will have, but like in that Everton dressing room, because I imagine at the moment, you can imagine the likes of Declan Rice, Odegaard, the senior players at Arsenal looking after Max Dowman. I was just wondering who did the same for you.
Yeah, it was probably Stubbsy and Duncan, who the two who helped me settle in, and obviously I couldn't drive as well, so they normally give me a lift home.
Who gave you a lift?
Duncan and Stubbsy, depending on which one, either would give me a lift home. So yeah, that was strange, just travelling through Croxteth where I'm from, and everyone Croxteth loves Duncan Ferguson, and there he is pulling in to give me a lift home. Yeah, so that was strange.
The other thing I kept thinking about last night was I thought about it a lot after he came on and played so well, because I haven't seen loads of him, because I think only the Arsenal fans have really seen him during pre-season. I kept thinking, I wonder what he's doing tonight. Like, when you've just made your debut for Arsenal, like the club that's the thing that you've always dreamt of. Can you remember what you did, like after your debut, after such a big moment?
No, but normally I'd go back and we'd just be on the street and get the ball out, and I'm just with my mates and having a kick about, yeah. And so that was what I'd normally do. So
No way were you scoring goals against Arsenal and like putting the ball in the back of the net against David Seaman and then just having a kick about in Liverpool?
Yeah, there used to be these garages, and you'd use one of the garages as the door, and you just mess around with your mates, and I'm sure he'd be doing something similar or whatever at that age. But yeah, you're just trying to be a kid, because sometimes that gets taken away from you.
But all the other kids must have been like, hold on, he was playing for Everton earlier, he was playing at Goodison Park, and now he's playing with us on the street. That's wild.
They're probably waiting for me to get home because they're a player down.